All right, everybody. Cinephile Mike is here, and it is day 67 of Award Season Review Season 3. 97 reviews coming at you in 97 days, covering many of the films up for awards recognition this season. Now, as some of the films I'm reviewing here may still be in theaters or be awaiting a theatrical re release or be awaiting its debut. All of the information that I am providing to you is current within 7 days of information. Now, this could include critical responses, box office information, nominations, wins, my predictions, so on and so forth. And most importantly, these reviews are spoiler free. Also, make sure you check out my website, cinephilemike.com, for lots of great award season content, including the Where Can I Watch It spreadsheet 2024 edition, which shows your tracker for all the nominations and wins at all the major awards this season, and also tell you how to watch all of these films and many more. So, we are in the midst of our 10th theme week, and it is International Week. All of the films that I am talking about this week are non English language films that were nominated somewhere. Maybe the Oscars, maybe the BAFTAs, maybe somewhere else. The important thing to know is that they are here. And today, we are traveling back to India, where we were when we were in BAFTA week last week, and I talked about Santush. But today, it is about Sideshow Pictures' All We Imagine as Light. The film was not submitted to the Oscars because India opted to enter a different film, Pata Ladies, which ended up not even making the shortlist. And that was a little bit of a controversy, but I'm not really here to discuss controversy. I'm here to talk about the film. So All We Imagine is Light. Written and directed by Payal Kapadia, the film was released in various venues in the fall of 2024. At the end of its run, the film made $982,216 domestically and an additional $1,919,886 internationally for a worldwide total of $2,902,102. Critically, the film is certified fresh, but not close in numbers. Critically, with 142 reviews, the film sits with a perfect 100% critical rating. On the audience side, from over 100 reviews, the popcorn meter actually sits at a 70%. Now, award season wise, many were surprised that India didn't submit this film. And while the film and the director were heavy in the conversation for best director, at least a best director nod this season, as the season wore on, and also Best Picture, not international, but Best Picture. It was eligible. But as the season went on, these films kind of fell out of the discussion and right now has no Oscar nominations to speak of. But All We Imagine is Light is currently nominated for Best Film Not in the English Language at the BAFTAs, Best Foreign Language Film at the Critics' Choice Awards, and Best International Film at the Independent Spirit Awards. Now, it was nominated for Best Director and Best Motion Picture Non English Language at the Golden Globes. It was nominated for Director and won Best International Feature at the Gotham Awards. It was a nominee for Best International Independent Film at the BIFAs, and it was the grand prize winner of the Cannes Film Festival and was named one of the top 5 international films by the National Board of Review, in addition to various nods and wins at various festivals and critic circles celebrations. So, this film, which at times almost felt like it could have been a documentary, is the story of three women living and working at a hospital. Well, not living in the hospital, but living in and working in a hospital in the city of Mumbai. Prabha, played by Kani Kusruti, is a nurse who was married in an arranged marriage, but shortly afterwards her husband left for Germany and she hasn't seen or heard from him in over a year. She's a little more quiet and reserved of the three women we meet and very much leans into that traditional life of a Indian woman who is married at home. Her roommate, who she's living with, Anu, another nurse played by Divya Prabha, is the exact opposite. Younger and more free-willed. All she wants to do is be happy, do what she wants to do, have that sense of freedom, and especially be with her love, her boyfriend, a Muslim named Shiaz, played by Hridu Harun. And now this mixed faith relationship is not acceptable to the parents on either side. So, therein lies that frustration. Now, both of these women are also friendly with Parvati, played by Chaya Kadam, the cook at the hospital, who is a widow, and ultimately dealing with the fact that her apartment building, where she has lived for many years, which is a poorly maintained building, is about to be demolished as they are looking to clean up the rather low class neighborhood where this apartment building and many others are. So it's surrounded by bulldozers and construction equipment. In her first feature film, Kapadia gives a real interwoven look at the lives of these three women as they deal with their unhappiness with elements in their lives and maybe strive for a little more. Now, as we follow each one, we see moments of joy, of pain, and ultimately some acceptance for the lives that they lead. Eventually, Parvati decides that she will leave Mumbai and go back home to live a quiet life in her village of Ratnagiri. And Prabha and Anu decide to go along with her to help her get settled in. And all of this is set against the backdrop of life and settings of India. Now, while this film doesn't have a specific narrative with a beginning and a middle and an end, it is an excellent slice of life film that, shows the lives of the citizens of India. Kapadia gives an almost documentary feel to her subjects, letting us see different events happening in their lives, kind of like checking in with each one at different times. And we really get to see the country as a whole because we get to see two different settings. One being the very like bustling, busy city of Mumbai, the construction, the traffic, the shouting, the crowded streets, and sometimes rare, trying to find those quiet moments of reflection, whether it's one of them by an open window or trying to find a quiet place at work. And then, in the latter part of the film, we get to see the countryside near the ocean, calming beach waters, and lots of peace and serenity in an otherwise turbulent time. So, how dark is the darkness in the imagination of light as we go through this? Maybe I'm being a little too philosophical if that tracks. Look, I have to say, the trio of actresses do a real wonderful job representing friendship and the bond that the women can have to support one another. There's nothing that's severely over the top or competitive here. Each character, offers advice different times, and for the most part, they're receptive. And the dialogue is almost so natural, you wonder how much was actually written on the page or if any of this was kind of improvised or designed together. And she doesn't fear or shy away from showing the more riskier sides of what these three do. When she depicts Anu and Shiaz's relationship, we get that snapshot of the dangers of interfaith couples and the challenges they have to endure to be together. And yet we don't get lost in tragedy. One story of the three doesn't overshadow the other two. We just kind of get, like I said, this slice of life and check in with these three individuals. Look, All We Imagine is Light is a visually and stylistically interesting film. Now, while it's a natural take, I'm okay with these, non-traditional narrative films. But for me, this one, while interesting, was a little slow paced at times, and I wish they kind of picked it up, maybe made a few more cuts. But still a good film for me. It's a 3-star film. I know I'm not as high as my fellow critics, but this is where that film is for me. It's a little on the lower end. If you would like to see All We Imagine is Light, it is no longer in theaters. However, the film will be available for digital purchase on most platforms as of February 4th. So it's coming really soon. Whether or not that includes the rental, I am not sure yet. It seems just the purchases as of the 4th. So, there we have it. We are halfway through our international week. We are 67 films down with 30 to go. As always, if you like what you heard here, please click that subscribe button, like the video, spread the word. You can follow me, Cinephile Mike, on all social media platforms and on Letterboxd. And again, find lots of great information on my website, cinephilemike.com. All right. See everyone tomorrow. And until then, this is Cinephile Mike saying take a break and watch something new.